All right, guys, we're going to jump back into the LAPD shooting. And I liked how you guys talked about on the show that it's a bigger issue. It's the bigger mental health issue.
Right. It's a bigger issue, and everyone's talking about how could this happen? How could we even got in the position where the police are taking care of mentally ill like this? They're not trained to do that. They're worried about dangerous people, and I understand there are people spilling out of the overcrowded prisons. I understand the prisons are a place where mentally ill patients go. Why does it have to be that way? Why can't we take care of these people properly?
Well, wow, gosh, that's that's like broken toys in our veterans. It's just like we seem to not view mental illness as a disease. It is almost just a tragedy that has befallen somebody, and woe is them.
Or it's woe is them. Or it's if they just had a little more willpower, they'd figure their way out.
They fight it out. Like stop hearing the voices, and you'll be okay. I think it's so sad because you're right. The police and the public at large do not know how to deal with them.
And I feel bad for the police. It's not their job. Their job is to neutralize danger.
I don't agree with that. I think now that we know there's a situation where a lot of the people that they are arresting have mental illness issues, I think that there needs to be some parameters in place where they are taught how to deal with these scenarios.
They are, but
that's too tough. I'd act crazy. What if I get stopped by the police and I just decide to act crazy?
Well, and it happens, but it happens so quickly. How much can they assess in those situations?
And I think in this situation it is different. They tried the taser. He grabbed for the gun. I think there's different situations, but like you said, they knew that they had an individual with illness. So maybe we don't go in guns ablazing with 5 cops.
Right.
Maybe and this is where I'm saying it's not their job to fix all the mental health issues, but when you know this information ahead of time, there are different parameters that maybe should be in place.
Let me ask you, how old were you when you moved here?
I moved to the America. To America, I was 4 years old.
4 years old. And when was that?
That was 1980.
Okay.
Something
in the 70s or in the 60s and 70s, we dismantled our state hospitals. We used to have state hospitals where we keep these people. And then we decided, hey man, you can't do that. It's restricting people's freedoms, man. Hey, who are you, man?
Okay.
And there were medicines that legitimately made people better, easier to manage in an outpatient setting. Isn't it time we start to restrict some freedom for somebody's benefit?
My position has always been that there are instances where I think the state should mandate and legislate to some
and then provide.
My question to you, Vanessa, is they knew he was mentally ill. This man, they brought 5 cops to a guy that got tased twice and it didn't affect him. He was still able to grab a cop's gun. What's scarier is that the society at large, or the community, knew that he was crazy. Just how crazy, no one could assess. But crazy enough and strong enough to go through a taser twice, grab the gun from 5, we believe, trained cops in threat assessment, maybe not mental health assessment, but that's scary to me. So my thing is, if I have kids or a family...
So you want them to protect?
I want the police to protect, and I honestly want the mentally ill of our society
to be protected as well,
to get help. To be honest with you, their protection isn't my fear. Their aid is, but I'm more afraid of them. They need to be protected from themselves. They need to be protected from hurting other people. And look, if my husband was LAPD, I would want him to come home every single night. I get this, and I'm not saying their shooting was not justified in this scenario. And a lot of times, also, I want to bring up the fact that with mental illness, a lot of times it's tied into alcoholism and drugs, and family members and people around them don't know what is what. They don't know if he's crazy, as they like to label them sometimes, or if he's a drug addict, and so it's really difficult. But this time they had some information that could have been helpful and maybe attacking the situation in a different way.
And to be fair, people with mental illness are more likely to be the victim of crime than to commit a crime too. So there's that whole. But in any event, it's complicated.
It's complicated.
And it's tragic, and it's tragic that we're in this situation. It's tragic that this guy lost his life. It's tragic that the cops are put in this position. But we got to do something.
Yeah. Well, let us know if you agree with Vanessa and you think that police should... Why was that funny?
No, you're just like, let us know if you agree with Vanessa.
No, about cops needing to have...
More training.
More training and mental... She brought that point up.
Well, no, what about agreeing with Shagun that they should be hospitalized and put in a box?
All right. Do you agree with Shagun? You agree with Vanessa or Shagun?
That's the question. And you guys, Dr. Drew did spend a lot of time in Skid Row, so if you go to our website and search Homeless in America, you'll see that series.